hard to try to translate this out there. And then here's one quick snippet. So here's what's going to happen in about 2 years. I have this ridiculously smart doctoral student. Like, this kid is stupid smart. I love it. So he has developed a neural network. It's a learning algorithm. So what you do is you set up the neural network, and it's kind of like, oh, it just escaped me. What's the computer that they had to, like in Space Odyssey 2010, you know what I'm talking about? HAL. It's kind of like HAL, thank you. So what we do is we have Phoebe, and we tell Phoebe, hey Phoebe, here's a whole bunch of data from uninjured people. Here's like 200 people that are non-injured. And here's about 200 people that all have the same knee injury. Let's say they all have IT band syndrome, pain in the outside of their knee. We teach her that these are all the uninjured and these are all the injured individuals. And then she figures out, well, how do we discriminate between them? What are the best ways? And it's not always a straightforward like, oh, these people all run this way and these people all run that way. It's a combination of different variables. Usually it's about 7 or 8 things about the way that you run. It could be how quickly your knee collapses, what angle it gets to, what angle it is at a certain part of stance. It's very sophisticated. And then what we do is we feed in new data. And we're 92% accurate at classifying people properly. Now, why are we only 92% accurate? Because sometimes, so all these red people are injured. All these blue people are non-injured. And every now and then, one of these red people, they creep over on this side. So this person runs just fine. They run just like a healthy individual. This is not a biomechanical problem. This person will fail conservative rehab. If this person goes to see a physiotherapist, for example, or a chiropractor or an athletic therapist, they're not going to find any benefit. There's nothing wrong with the way they run. There's nothing wrong with their musculoskeletal system. This is a neural problem. This is a cartilage problem. This is a bone problem. This person needs to be referred. You don't need to waste your money. This is on to a specialist right away. This person is about to get injured. They're on this side of this, and I only put this in 2 dimensions. Usually it comes out as a 5-dimensional matrix. So in 2 dimensions, this person still is over. These 2 people here are really close. So how can we intervene? Can we take these people and pull them this direction? What direction can we pull them the quickest? Okay? So that's where we're getting to, and we're going to be there in about 2 years, because this database, we add about 15 to 25 people a week into the database, and then we have these 6 universities all looking at it. And this is the major thrust of our research right now. So we're going to be able to take those numbers and plot it out in a very sophisticated way, easy to understand. Hopefully that's kind of our job. But you know, if somebody comes in, we're going to be able to, this is a diagnostic test, more or less. Or it's a way to understand, well, if you want to train, then sure, that's fine. Here's your training program. And I think in about 5 years, we're going to be able to predict what you and you and you are more likely to develop as an injury, because we'll have just that much data. So it's not like Big Brother is watching you by any means, but you know, it's very exciting in terms of what are we doing with the data. It's just a very sophisticated way to look at it. So, and trust me, I'm just thankful that I have really smart people working in my lab with all of this. This actually came about. He wanted to take this one class. He's first-year doctoral student, and he says, I really want to take this one class. I said, no, your job is to get in the lab, start doing some research, get working. He's like, I really want to take this class. And I said, I really don't want you to take this class, but convince me why you have to take it. And he said, okay, I'm going to go for 1 week. I'll only go for 1 week, 3 classes, and then I'm going to come back and tell you what it's all about. I'm like, sure, great, no problem. Then he went the first day, and I happened to see him on the Tuesday. I'm like, hey, what's it all about? He's like, oh, it's kind of boring. I'm like, great, drop it. You know, we're busy. We got lots of stuff going on. Get into the lab, start working with the other folks. And then after Wednesday, and he came in on Friday, he was giddy. And he said, I think this is what we can do. I'm learning about this called a support vector machine. This is a learning algorithm. Here's what I think we can do with this. And I said, all right, give it another week. I'm not really, all that excited yet. And then he came back and he wrote some code in 1 week. He's like, hey, I totally figured out, like sitting, waiting for the bus. He's like, I totally figured out how to do this. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, that's matrix algebra at its finest. It was outstanding. So we're really lucky. We have a number of government, industry, and research foundation partners with all of this. So there's 17 of us just in my lab at the University of Calgary, and we're all funded through various agencies. Actually, nothing from your tax dollars at all. Usually I'm talking to an Alberta audience and I always say thank you for your tax dollars, but nothing from BC necessarily. But still, we have low back pain studies, for example. This is knee pain, this is knee osteoarthritis, this is some other stuff to do with some other tech that we have going on. This is working with an orthotics company. They just give us a bunch of money and they said, you know what, just do orthotics research. That's all we want you to do. So we actually calculate strain in the plantar fascia, like with and without orthotics. It's kind of cool what we do. So there, I always say thank you to them, and of course thank you to you for your time and attention. It's a lovely Sunday. I can't believe this crowd came out, so thanks to Shauna for organizing all this. Are there any questions or for me, or we can go downstairs and take a look at the system?